Hey, what's going on? My name is Zach, and here I just want to show you guys how to have more accurate sketches. As you can see, this is some of the practice sketches that I've done throughout the week, looking pretty good. So what I want you to start thinking is something like this, right? Oh, sweet Lord, Zach, what are you doing? I just came here to learn how to draw. This is some crazy nonsense. All right, well, hold up. I want you to think about breaking the drawing up into small sections. Some easy bite-sized pieces help reduce some of your stress, because what's more stressful, doing something like this or looking at your drawing and then first drawing the eye and then moving down to the nose and then some of the tusks, and now you have a drawing that looks something like this, right? And then you erase it because it looks dumb and it's stressing you out, and then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. So what I want you to think about is break this up into easy pieces. That way you don't want to throw this in the trash halfway through, right? So I can make a drawing based on something like this, right? Like this kills 100% of my stress. I already know where things are aligned. Super easy. All right, so let's break this up into some little pieces, right? So what I first like to do is I'll do the outline. And I won't even be real specific about this, right? I'll do this in the first couple seconds of the drawing. I don't even separate out these tusks here, right? I'll just draw the outline real general, right? And then for this one was a little bit different than some of the other drawings that I do. This one has a little bit of perspective on it, so I'll draw tiny little perspective grid. This is just so that I can align some of the tusks later in the drawing. And then what I want you to think about is in this drawing, you can break it up into a bunch of different shapes, right? So you'll have this lower jawbone here, you have this part of the cheekbone here. These tusks, I'll just combine them into one shape at the moment, right? So when I'm drawing, it'll look something like this. And I want to make sure that everything's properly aligned so that nothing's too far off as I'm going throughout the drawing and adding more details, right? So I'll draw something like this. And then to make sure that these shapes are aligned properly, I'll sort of think about how these shapes are linked together, right? So these tusks here, if you follow them, they'll sort of curve into this jawbone area, or these cheeks over here, right? So I'll do something like this. These tusks curve up, and then they're connected to the top of the eye over there. This nose will come over and connect to this part of the eye here. And then this jawbone connects and then sort of goes up and crosses over, right? You can kind of see how this is just one big line. So now you have something that looks like this. And again, this is way easier than doing something like this. Here, I just want to throw it away. I don't know where it's going. I don't know how to start drawing the rest of the things in here, right? But when I have something like this, I can start working on the nose. I can separate these tusks out. You know, I can start drawing in some of the eye, right? Super off, but you get it. And then another thing that I'll do is as I'm drawing these lines, this is sort of what my eye's doing, right? So if I'm drawing this, I'm drawing these lines, my eyes are doing this, and then I'm thinking, you know, is this curve, as I'm drawing this curve here, is it more vertical, horizontal? Well, more vertical. And then is it more diagonal or vertical? It's between being diagonal and vertical. So I'll draw that line. And then as I get to a part around here in the skull, like, and I'm doing this for all the parts of it, but this is sort of me breaking down what I'm thinking about on these different areas. You know, is it more diagonal or horizontal? It's a little bit of both. So then I'll draw those lines in here. I know this seems pretty self-explanatory, but when you're drawing this and you aren't sort of thinking about this and your outline's kind of bad, you might draw this line as it dips down and then back up, right? So this is what I'm doing. Just kind of going through. more vertical, horizontal, diagonal. And then I end up with something like this, right? Okay, cool. So you'll end up with something like this, but let's just say that I've drawn the skull in. So it'll look like this, right? And if I haven't added any color, there's no way of knowing these sort of plane transitions within the skull. So as you can see with some of these drawings that I've done here, I'll add some of these contour lines, and this just better helps show what's going on in the picture, right? So it sort of convexes and then it concaves in here. And if I just have the line, it won't properly show the form that's actually going on in the skull unless I add the, the gray color that I have to it, right? So we'll have something like this, right? And then looking at this picture, you know that the horns sort of wrap around like this, or these tusks. There's a real sharp transition here, and you can tell because it goes from light straight to dark in this real quick color. You can see some subtle transitions in areas like this where it goes from light to this in-between color as it's transitioning into the dark. So you know that this is a real sharp transition here. So you'll sort of draw that angle real sharp-like. See the top of the skull goes something like this. And because I haven't indicated this line here, the best way to show what the contour is just swooping it down like this. And this works really well for a specific part of the skulls, like this nose area over here. So it looks like it's been gouged out almost with a spoon or something. So a good way to show this is, and also there's this sort of trench line here. So it goes in like so, and then over this side, and then it sort of concaves inwards, and then back over, right? So we're able to show what's sort of happening in here. And then you have areas like this part of the tusk here, where there's this ridge in the center of it. So you're able to draw these curves as they dip into this ridge, and then as it sort of hops back over. And then this is it's way easier for you to tell what's going on in something like this versus this, right? Thank you for watching. I hope that you found this helpful. I won't be drawing this one in particular, but I do have some videos of some of the skulls here already. So if you want to see what the actual drawing process looks like, definitely check those out. I have new videos coming out every day, so subscribe if you want to keep up to date. Next, we're going to be doing some landscapes, and then we'll be doing some cars. We'll be doing some animals that actually have flesh on them. So thank you very much, guys. Have a good one.